Our first topic I thought was kind of interesting. We were talking about dating apps, and you go on your date nights over the weekend. So that's something that people are fresh off of the weekend. Maybe they had a really bad date. Maybe they met someone online. Well, these are some pretty interesting statistics that we saw that talk a little bit about the people that you could potentially be meeting on an app. So this is the app Tinder specifically. They say 42% of people who were on this app looking for a match were already in a relationship or married. So that's nearly half.
That is pretty crazy. 30% of the people on the app were in fact already married.
Which is also wild.
Yeah. Why would you get on, like, well, we'll have the reasoning coming up in a second.
Yeah. 12% say that they were in a relationship when they were on the app.
And 54, so more than half, identified as quote unquote single.
3% were divorced or widowed at the time that they were on the app. Now, I know Tinder, we don't have that up, but Tinder said, no, that's not true.
Yeah, Tinder, they reached out to the CEO and they're like, man, I'm not so sure about this. But a lot of folks that were talking about this in the survey said it was kind of a habit. Like, you kind of get into those habits of going to, like,
it's a habit to cheat.
That's what they said. That
Really?
It's just kind of a habit. They're kind of like, maybe they're not actually looking for a date, but it's just become kind of like a habit that they go on the app and look. So it's something that you gotta look out for.
I have never registered or signed up on any of these dating apps, so I don't even know what type of information you're putting in. Do they fact check you?
I don't think there's any fact checking on the internet, which is another potential issue, right?
That's another problem. Yeah, we have to say good morning to Linda and to Sherry, who are joining us, and Olivia. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You specialize a little bit in this.
We do, yes. At Phillips Law Foundation, we do a lot with sex trafficking victims, helping people stay safe and knowing what to do. So thanks for inviting me here.
Can you talk a little bit about what the foundation is all about?
So Phillips Law Foundation, we're here to just really rise up the community and help in a number of ways. One big initiative this year is helping to find missing kids, missing children. You may notice when you're driving through the valley, all of our billboards. This year alone, we've helped find 19 missing children and bring them home. So those include young women, young adults, and sadly, some who've come from dating online apps.
And that is a very serious topic. And when, like we said, are they fact checking? Are they doing background check? How do you know if someone is how do you know if they're married or in some type of relationship? You basically are just trusting what they're putting in front of you.
Exactly. So you really have to be an advocate for yourself. You know, dig. Look on their social media. Like, you know, there's Facebook groups even called, "Are you dating my man?" If you could believe that. So go on and search these people. You know, if you're going to spend your time and go meet somebody, do a FaceTime call first. Make sure that they're real, they're normal, you know.
Are you going to be considered a creeper or a weirdo or a stalker yourself if you're going on and looking at their social media and trying to figure out what their true story is?
For me, I would stalk all day long before I went on a date, because it's your safety, you know, and there's nothing more important. And then, like you said, are the profiles even real? We don't know.
And then we're just looking at those stats from Tinder, or some folks that were on Tinder. That's kind of scary to think that a lot of these people are probably lying on their profiles to begin with. So you really kind of have to go into this kind of with the mindset of, I guess you have to be a little weary, right?
Exactly, you do. You know, and even if once you go on a date, you need to share your location with somebody, send pictures of who you're dating, you know, be vigilant to make sure that your safety is number one.
Olivia, you came with some great tips, and I want to kind of go over these. These are some of the warning signs that you guys have put out there. Will you go over some of these with us and kind of talk about some of the ones that you think are maybe the most important that folks should take away from this?
Exactly. So for the first tip, you know, trust your gut. Look for red flags. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you are talking with somebody and they refuse to do a FaceTime video or a phone call before, don't go.
Or maybe give you an address.
Correct.
Or tell you what they do for a living. And they should be pretty open. So you call that excessive behavior.
Exactly. So excessive behavior. The other thing is inconsistent communication, or trying to just, you know, wave past anything.
Keep going.
Oh,
I have a question.
Yeah, no, please.
Well, you're talking about inconsistent communication. We have burner phones, right? You can get a fake phone. a fake phone number. So you have one for the wife, and then you might have one for someone that you want to meet on the app. But they're always going to respond to you on this phone, and they're always going to be responding to the same phone number, the text messages. How do you know if this is a real phone, like legitimate, their phone or a burner phone?
Exactly. You don't. I mean, for that, you don't. And that's why checking out where they work, you know, maybe if they say they work somewhere, call and say, you know, is so-and-so available?
Olivia, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Linda is commenting too. You have to watch out for the scammers too. And I think that is a big one, because a lot of these people are trying to maybe try and get money, or who knows what some of these scammers, their ultimate goal is. But you really do have to go into this with a little bit of a grain of salt. You can't have those rose-colored glasses on when you're talking about dating.
You have to have your walls up for sure.
You do, exactly.
Maybe even the boxing gloves on defense. Someone from your office is commenting, and this is really excellent. Don't go to their home on a first date. What if they say, we want you to come pick us up? And you're thinking, well, I'm going to be in control. I'm the woman. I'm going to be driving. I'll have my car. I'll go pick him up at his apartment or his house. Don't do that.
Never, never. Always meet in a public place. Always arrange your own transportation. Make sure that you're in control for your safety. And the date needs to be planned. Go during the day. Don't go at night, you know.
And you said something earlier that I thought was pretty interesting too. Tell your friends, hey, I'm supposed to go out with this person. We're going to this location. I'm leaving at this time. Maybe even share your location with your friends. Like those exist as well. You really do have to be careful, which is kind of sad in today's day and age, right?
It is sad, but with burner phones and all the technology, you just never know. And there's so many people that meet under false pretenses. You can't be too safe.
This might be where social media is actually a positive. If you're posting a photo of the two of you out on date and say date night, meeting for the first time, you might start getting comments from people saying, that's not who he says he is, if you tag him, or saying, that's someone else's boyfriend or someone else's husband, or people do see your location.
Why did you use men for all of your
You could say women. Well, women, you're right. You're absolutely. I should not assume. You're absolutely right. I imagine this goes both ways. Men as well as women can be in danger, and they can be tricked.
It does, absolutely. Even young men, we're finding young teenagers are being lured under false pretenses. So it can happen to anybody, but commonly women we see for the most part, for sure.
My mom always said, if it's too good to be true,
it is.
Probably. That could lead to some dating issues as well, right?
It can.
How do people find you guys? How do they get a little bit more information and maybe help your cause a little?
So we're at phillipslawgroupfoundation.com or Phillips Law. You could visit us either way. Through the foundation, we're here to help if you ever have questions or need somebody to advocate on your behalf.
I have to read this comment. This is from Sherry, who says, even now, 33 years ago, we met in a public place.
Correct.
You just got to take those extra precautions, because you never know, unfortunately. Well, thank you so much for coming in. This was a wealth of knowledge. And again, you can go and talk about the foundation. Give that website one more time, because you put the tips there, haven't you?
Yes, we have the tips there. We have a lot of information about it. It's phillipslawfoundation.org. Visit us there. There's also information on our Phillips Law Group website about how to stay safe in public as well.
And I think this applies to every single age group. It's not just the young 20-something looking for their first marriage. This is
across
the board, all age groups.
Thanks, Olivia.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate it.